What is going on, guys? Thought I'd pop the camera on just for a moment. Getting ready to get everything kicked off for the day. Like I said, today we're going to be doing a lot of pickups. It's been the primary focus on the week. And Simply Dana, I had no clue that you were starting a channel. Oh, thank you. I cannot begin to explain to you the scale of the number of items that I've gotten over the past 2 weeks. Yeah. Things have been slowing down with the census, but we'll tear into all that after we get everything up and going. I actually didn't know that you had a reselling channel. You know, there's so many people. It seems like everyone and their mother has a reselling related channel nowadays. Like Joe Blow, who sells 10 items a week on eBay, will go start up a channel, and just blows my mind. It's not that people with small volume can't have great channels. It's just there's a lot of people who are making channels, and I think that with, I don't know, maybe it's just a web thing. They see other people doing it and they think it's easy, and then rarely do people actually grind it out and try and make it into something. Even myself, I don't even know how hard I'm grinding it out at this point, but I think that a lot of people are overly optimistic about what YouTube can do for them, and it's important to be very realistic on it. But good luck on the gaming channel. Hope it goes well. I was actually just hanging out with somebody who holds the world record for the longest Just Dance gameplay time. It was something like 115 hours consecutive, and she's like one of those like crazy Uber marathoners of all things. Joe Blow's reselling sounds great. It's probably already taken. Joe Blow probably already locked it down, and he probably makes really crummy videos with no editing and no idea what he's talking about. Oh man, who else we got in the crowd today? We got some familiar faces. We got a new face. Hello to you, Chris Clifton. Thanks for coming and joining us live. I did not, it's not often that we get people who convert across to watch some of that pre-recorded content. And we got some good pre-recorded content coming up by the end of the year. And I know that's so damn lofty, but we just got a lot of catch-up projects going on right now. But I'm 100% listed right now. We'll talk about that here in a bit, but hopefully we'll have more pre-record. But thank you for taking the time to come down here and check it out live. I do appreciate it. Rhiannon, as always, thank you for being here. Money for Mars, another one of the regulars here. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. I wonder too, let me ask you guys, if I was to do a hard pivot on my content, would you still watch? I mean, I like talking about reselling and all, but I kind of want to start a casino stream like some of those foreigners do over in the UK, and I just want them to legalize gambling here in the States, and I'm going to get all over that. Pick up casino sponsors, gamble from home, have a good old time. Oh man, if you haven't seen it, like look up channels like Let's Give It a Spin or Rock and Rolla Gambling Channel. Really entertaining. And I've always been a big gambler. I'm itching to go to a casino right now. It took a lot of fortitude not to just drive to one yesterday. The nearest one's like 2 hours away from me though. It's not like how it was when I was living in Fresno. It was a 40-minute jump. Like I would finish up the show some nights and I would say, okay, whatever, I'm just going to go to the casino because I was just beat and I just wanted to relax. And for me, it's like a very relaxing experience sometimes just to go up there and hang out and do some gambling. I'm curious how close, I'm going to look up right now, how close Table Mountain is. Casino to home. 2 hours and 3 minutes away, and that means if you speed you could get there in an hour and 45, hour and 50. Not bad. Who else do we got here today? Fat Girl Selling, thanks as always for being here. I appreciate you as well. Longtime fan or longtime supporter. I shouldn't use the word fan, that's condescending. Everything we buy is a gamble of sorts. We just play the odds. It's really weird. I've been having a bit of retrospective time to think about the career and the profession that we're engaged in. And some weeks it's a little bit harder than others to really understand what I do, but I feel like a dung beetle of sorts, that I am just going around and gathering up what other people consider garbage, and I'm just rolling this massive garbage ball back to my house, and then I'm cleaning it up, and then I'm selling it to people as being more than garbage. But some days when I go to estate sales, it pains me because I walk into houses that are like $1 million homes, $1.5 million homes, and there's this just ridiculous generational wealth there at the house. And I'm over here negotiating on things that they would just throw in the trash. Nobody buys it today, we'll just throw it away or we'll donate it. And for me, I'm like, that's next week's lunch money, or that's my gas money, or that's my rent for the month, in those items that you consider trash. And some weeks it's a little bit grindier than others, and this week has been one of those weeks, that's for sure. And you'll see with some of the items that I show, we even have a couple set up back here this week, some pickups for the week. And I was even thinking, it might be a fun thing to do down the line is to set this up with pickups each week, or possibly doing just like an all pickups show where I have an array of items behind me, and then I just kind of like pull from the stuff behind me as I talk to you about it on air. I don't know. But this week, like I said before, it's going to be all pickups. It's going to be a very, very chill week. I am going to talk with you about some work stuff. We might talk about creating local ads tonight. I know that Audrey within our group, and if you don't know about our group, I mean, you guys should at this point. I'll put a link in the comments right now. But if you're not a member of the group, go check it out. And Audrey was asking, she said, hey, you were supposed to talk about local ads last week. So we may spend some time, if you're interested, and I will show you how to build a custom ad for your area. And it's very, 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 very easy, and it will generate you a lot of additional revenue. I get calls on my ads every single day. So, and the ads are free too. And if you want to spend a little bit of money, you say, well, free is nice, but what will $20 do for me? What will $50 do for me? What will $100 do for me? We can talk about that as well. So I'm going to kind of let you guys drive the show tonight. If there's anything you do want to talk about, anything that's kind of piqued your interest, you guys can throw it out there for me and we'll chat about it. But it's going to be a small audience tonight. It'll be a real chill show. I'm the one running late this week. I just barely got the slide put together. We have another one behind me. That one's on the wall because if I didn't put it on the wall, I would have broken it. And it was on the brink of breaking many times this week, just sitting behind me. How have sales been this week? I think I've had quite the stellar sales week. Here, I'll show you right now. Overview. I'll give you a little snapshot. This is my sales on the week. My sales on, let's do that. That's where I'm at right now. I think that's decent. So the last 7 days, $884. Last 31 days, $4,893. Last 90 days, and I hate, this just went down. Something just fell off. It was at like $13.1 an hour ago, $12,848. And I'm actually really pleased with these numbers because over those last 90 days, I put in probably near 450 hours to maybe 500 hours working for the census. So those were hours that were not related to eBay. I also have my Amazon numbers and my Mercari numbers as well, so I cannot complain. Are you guys able to see that? Yeah, you guys can see that. Yes, sir, we chatted a little bit, but I made no progress in running any. Okay, I understand. Hi, it's Bogar's son, Jordan, Vertical AD. How are you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. And I made your father a promise. I said that if he shows up during one of my live shows, I will shout out his channel. And you let your father know, okay? Tell him that this happened today, because he sold me this. And you gotta tell your father anytime he sells me anything, he's probably leaving a little money on the table. But he sold me this, I think, a month and a half ago, and it just sold this morning. So a nice little sale of a crash symbol. But yeah, check out Vertical AD. He's a young, aspiring reseller. He's got a lot of energy to him. Go check his channel out. Feel free to put your link in. I'll go ahead and give you approval if you put a link in, okay? And go check out his channel and give him a little bit of support. If you guys got a moment, that would be really appreciated. But yeah, so there's the sales, Rhiannon. I am pleased with the sales. This doesn't take into account Mercari or anything else like that. So very good numbers. I'm very happy with it. But overall, things have been very strong. I had a couple of goose egg days in there. I'm sure you saw from the chart here. Let me look at it one more time. Yeah, a couple of goose eggs here and there, and a couple of slow days, and then a couple of real outlier days. You see that real big spike right there? right around September 14th. That big spike was a direct result of the offers to buyers. And if you go back and you look at the channel information, the episode that we did where we talked about offers to buyers, that was the day, I believe the day after or 2 days after I went through and I took all of my own lessons and I did offers to buyers on all of my items. And I got that nice, lovely spike. And then I did one more time at the end of the month, and that's that other spike that you see right there. So if you missed that episode where we talked about offers to buyers, I'd strongly recommend you go back and watch it. I'm having a wild hair day today. It's just doing whatever the heck it wants to do. You guys ready? I'm ready to get this party started. I got my coffee from 10 hours ago I gotta finish. Let's do this. What is going on, guys? My name is Jay Kraft with the Facebook group Roundup Pickers Lounge. Let's get that out of my face. And I'm here today. It is October 11th, 2020, and we have a wonderful show in store for you. It's not going to be the biggest, but I'm going to tell you right now, never have I ever had so many pickups as I have piled up around me right now. We got 2 weeks worth of goodies. And on top of that, we're probably going to do a little tutorial on how to create local ads. I've been seeing questions flying around the internet, people asking me saying, Jay, how do I quickly make a local ad that's actually going to get me engagement? I don't understand why this is so hard for some people, and I see marketing firms miss the mark all the time. I see small-time business advertisers miss the mark all the time, and I actually plan on doing a big old course on it. And I'm not some guy who went to college for it. I'm looking for some of my analogs right now. I don't know where they're at. I'm not some guy who went to college for marketing and design or graphic creation or anything like that, but I kind of have a knack for making ads that make people not only look at them, but stop and read them and then actually convert into people who are going to call you to either sell you something or buy something from you, which I mean is you really want one of the two. So we're going to do a little bit of that today, but we're mainly going to focus on pickups. Obviously, I want to thank everyone who took the time to be here. We're running a little bit behind as far as getting the notification out to everyone, so I know it's a little bit of a smaller audience tonight, but that's fine. We're gonna have this nice little homely feel. Now, I want to say, we were talking about this before the show, I did some real interesting sourcing. I went out all over my town, and not only did I go over my town, we were up in Oakhurst a couple of weeks ago, and I think I might be showing you some of the same items. If I do, I apologize. There's just been bins around me, and I kind of got a little bit overloaded this week, and I don't know if you're one of those people that has to be caught up every single week. For me, I hate it when I have a task on my plate that hasn't been taken care of yet. It just kind of irks me to know that it's not done. And if you're that way, then you understand. I know some people have their death pile, they like to call it that, their pile of stuff that never gets done. I do have piles, but I have piles of stuff that's waiting to be cleaned or waiting to be repaired, or I'm waiting on parts in the mail. And I think everyone should have a shelf devoted to that. Work in progress. But the key is that you need to be making progress on that work. Otherwise, it turns into a death pile that doesn't make you any money. And especially as we start to wrap up the year. And I want to point this out. Rhiannon mentioned this within our group chat last week. She said, hey, make sure you get your supplies ordered. And this is very, very true. Those of you who need USPS supplies, those of you who are going to order your Q4 eBay coupon supplies, those of you who are looking to UPS and FedEx supplies for the first time because of the addition to them on eBay, now is the time you want to get your orders in. It's very, very important, or you're not going to get them in time. And frankly, okay, odds are you're not going to sell everything you own, but you should have enough supplies on hand that you can cover a large majority of your inventory selling through the holidays. And don't forget about the side products, tape and bubble wrap and twine and craft paper and the other things, tissue paper, the other things that you need to be able to get your packages out. Okay, so we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff on this show today. And I want you to know that if you have questions during the show, because we're doing everything very casual, tonight is really the night that you can ask me questions and you can pick my brain. Rhiannon asked before the show like how my sales were doing, and I put them up on screen. If you have questions about me, the business, what I'm doing, where we're going, if you have questions about your business, don't be afraid, okay? Tonight's the night. Just get them out there. Let's talk. I know some of you here for the first time, okay? But we're going to have a good time of it. We're not going to be super formal tonight. I do want you to know I went through and I read all the news, and nothing really tickled my fancy. There's some eBay glitches going on. There's some people who are upset that eBay is assessing fees on the gross value of the sale with managed payments, and it's going to cause some tax headaches. It really will. We're going to get to that when tax season rolls around. There's a conference call that's going to be coming up here soon, the Q3 earnings call for eBay, which is going to be really interesting. I do think that we're going to start seeing a drop off here in active buyers. Kind of hard to say. eBay stock went down to like $49 a share and then sprung right back up to 56 or so dollars a share, which was interesting to see. But as a whole, there's no real interesting news in the world of reselling. Now, in my personal life, things are slowing down. You guys know I have this little census gig. I still got my census device here. Yesterday, I went through and I terminated everyone. We were coming to end of season, so I closed out my team, and I should be done by Tuesday, which means that I plan to drive more time into my next project, whatever that is. But I have started actively ramping up my e-commerce, and that's why we have bins. You can't even scale or understand the scale of the number of bins I have behind me. It's been disgusting. Don't get me wrong, success is lovely, but I don't like letting things sit around. So when I get 150 items, which is about what I got over this last 2 weeks, I feel obligated to process all of them and get them done before I go on a vacation or before I take a day off. I just feel compelled to get it done. And I think I'm going on 16 days in a row of straight work, and tomorrow is going to be my first day off. And tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll take a day off here soon. So I processed all these items, and we're going to go through them. And like I said before the show, we got a couple behind me, which I'll make it a point to talk about those, and we'll talk about the clock, and we'll go through all of them. But again, got any questions, let me know. And Money from Mars says, I have not been caught up in years, maybe next year. And I'll tell you what you want to do. Okay, do all your sourcing, do all your listing, get everything done that you need to get done, and then come December 1st, stop buying. Okay, just stop. Just stop doing it, okay? Your items are going to sell. You're going to get paid in December. If you have good inventory online, you can expect to make a full paycheck in December, correct? Right? Your inventory is going to carry itself. Stop buying. December is one of the worst months to buy in. Not only is there hardly any yard sales, the thrift stores are garbage, okay? People aren't thinking about donating. People are thinking about gifting, okay? The thrift stores really come back in force about a week to 2 weeks into January, because people have all this extra stuff. They're doing their winter cleaning. They're cleaning up because of the families coming over. They want to get the garage. They want to get the house ready, all that stuff. They donate a ton of stuff come January. It takes a couple weeks for that stuff to trickle out, but it does come out, and you're going to find top shelf goods come January. I always take my December off. December 1st, as soon as it rolls around, when I say off, I mean off from the other things in life, I immediately start playing catch up. That's all I want to do. I clear out all my death piles, all of my repair piles. I go through, I organize the garage, I do an audit if necessary, I clean, I sort everything. I get all of my loose ends tied up. And I even have a running list here. I got a list all over this damn desk. I don't even know if I can find it. I have a running list of things that actually need to get done. Where is it? But it's all kinds of things. And this week I was able to knock out. I promise you it's on my desk. This week I was able to knock out some big ones. I got my real ID, and I got a deep freezer, which is kind of a difficult thing to find here in California. But one of those things is just making sure that I get all of my life's back projects caught up outside of the work season. So Vertical 80, you're going to have to go to your channel in a browser and then copy it and paste it in. That's probably going to be the best way to do it. Here, let me see if I can help you out. Let me see if I can throw you a bone. Let me see. I can't even click into your channel, so I'm sorry I won't be able to help you out. I'm on the back end of YouTube right now, but if somebody wants to throw him a hand, feel free to. Carrie Swide, Decky, does clothes sell well on eBay? Do you recommend yard sale or eBay? And Carrie's a little rock star. If you don't know who she is, Google her. But clothes can sell exceptionally well. There's people whose entire business is backed on the backside of clothes. They sell millions of dollars a year worth of secondhand clothes. And when it comes to sourcing, generally speaking, you're going to find significantly better prices at yard sales than you're going to find at swap meets or thrift stores. So we actually do have some clothes that we're going to be looking at today. We can actually kick off with the clothes, believe it or not. I actually received quite a few decent pieces of goods this week. Some of the stuff was a little bit hokey, but the prices that I was paying was $1 each. I can't remember exactly what this goes to. All the items that I'm showing you now are already listed, and remember, if you're a patron and you're interested in getting the item at cost, just send me a message after the show is over and we'll get it all sorted out for you. You got to pay your own shipping, but some stuff like this I paid $1 for. And this is a Disney shirt. Again, I can't off the top of my head remember what it's referencing. $15 shirt that I paid $1 for. And we actually got some really nice ones in here too. This was a really neat one, and this one's up at auction right now on eBay, and I felt it was the best course of action. I couldn't find anything on Terapeak for it, and I couldn't find anything active on eBay. I know what you're thinking, like, oh, it's just a whole bunch of shamrocks. No, this is actually a 4-H apron. And 4-H is for, you know, a lot of you guys over on the East Coast especially are going to know what 4-H is. It's for ag. It's for, you know, there's the organizations in school. You learn about livestock. You learn about running farms and stuff to that effect. It's a fantastic program. We have a big organization for it here in California, especially here in the Valley, the Central Valley. We grow a ton of crops here. But I can't find any information on this. And this was purchased, I believe I paid $5 for it. I didn't want to pay $5, but I knew what it was. I knew how hard it was to come by. The opening bid on this one at auction is at $50. Now, it might not sell during the off season being, you know, COVID, kids having school at home. But when all activities are back up and running again, I think I'll have no problem getting that as far as my price. So if you want to drop that link, it should go through. I just have to approve it though. So if you can find it, we'll help you out. But if anyone wants to check out Vertical AD's channel, he's a young kid looking to make a name for himself doing some reselling. We'd appreciate your help. Speaking of textiles, I got this, and I was genuinely expecting this to be worth a little bit more. Now the condition is cut above the normal ones that I've seen. This is from 1985, so this is a really, really sharp example. This is a twin or standard. This might even be bigger. Might even go as far as saying that's a queen. But it's a pillowcase. It's a Pokemon themed one. It's a vintage one from 1985. And then I paid, I think, like 50 cents for it at a book sale. I think it goes for about $20, $20 to $25 in that condition. Now, I do want to talk about books really quick. I did get a couple for me down here. I'll show them to you real quick. So I got this one for me. This is kind of a little browsing one. I really like the artistic style of some of the images that were done in here. I don't know if I'm going to be going that direction of art, but I know I'm going to be doing something interesting and something different. I just really like this book. And then I got these two specifically for work. Every time I see a piece of furniture, I really struggle. I can't look at a piece of furniture for the life of me and tell whether or not it's worth a damn thing. So I got this massive novel to learn about old furniture. And I thought that this would be the best way to do it. Treat it like a textbook, take the time to look through it. And then I also got this, Gardner's Art Through the Ages. And this, again, is so every time I look at a piece of art, I feel like an absolute jackass making assumptions on what something might or might not be worth. And I thought it might be a good idea to take the time to actually brush up. Now, I got these for $1 each. But the real haul, and if you want to go visit my eBay store, you can actually see that. The real haul came from all of the first edition Tolkien books that I got while I was at the art sale. Those of you in the group chat have seen this. I picked up probably about 15 first edition Tolkien books and a whole bunch of Tolkien like journals and art books and different pieces like that. And I paid, what did I pay? I paid $60 for all of the books, plus 2 really expensive books that they had selling separately. Those first lot of Tolkien books, you can see them on my eBay store right now. They listed for about $1,500 just for those books, and I paid $60 for them. And then I also got 2 Dark Crystal books, and one of the Dark Crystal books is listed at $60, And the other one I'm listing at an auction with an opening bid of $400, and it's because it actually has a Brian Froud signature on the interior on a book plate, and it's a very, very rare piece. I cannot find another example of it anywhere on the internet, but if you're looking for something specifically dark crystal, you're a big fan of it, definitely check that out. But I wanted to throw that in there. There was a couple items that we got. We got a dip bar. That's in the living room. We paid $2 for that. That's obviously not going online. We picked up a really nice beanbag chair, paid $1 for it, stripped it, washed it, refilled it. Fantastic piece. Cats love it. And then we also got, what was the other thing? Dip bar. There was one other item we got. Oh, this absolutely massive. This is 3 quarts, 5.4 ounce Heineken bottle, and it is still sealed. Okay. And I asked the old guy, I'm like, about how old do you think it is? He's like, oh, I couldn't tell you. I'm like, you got to ballpark it for me. You got to tell me. He's like, I don't know, maybe about a decade. And I'm like, how much you want for it? He's like, like a couple bucks. I'm like, I'll give you $1 for it. He's like, I'll take $1. So I took this off his hands for $1. Now, for obvious reasons, I can't sell it online, but the empty bottle is worth about $50. Okay, maybe $60. A little bit more because I would be able to offer the cage, the cork, and the bottle cap. But yeah, if you're local and you're interested in this bad boy, just let me know. Jane Miller says 4-H had sewing projects, and the company named Riley Blake made 4-H fabric. Your apron may be one such item. I would believe it. I was looking at the craftsmanship on it, and I thought, I'm like, there's a small chance that this might be handmade, but it is really, really well done. Like the stitch work, and I'll show it to you right now. The stitch work is surprisingly fine for what it is, but thank you for that insight, though. Jane, you remind me of me in some ways. Like when I see how you talk online, and I love it. Because you're like a no-nonsense, no BS kind of person. But we're the type of people, either people really like us or they really don't like us. But we're also the type of people that we don't care either way. We hope people like us, but it doesn't really matter, though. So here's some of that stitch work. Here, we'll even zoom in a little bit. So it is really nice stitch work the whole way through and through. She says, I am well hated by many. Yeah, there's a good group of people who do not like me. But that's okay. That is A-okay. So let's take a look at some other textiles really quick. I got this. I think this was Hispanic or Mexican Heritage Night. And originally when I bought this, I didn't have a darn clue what this was. It says Los Tiburones. Forgive my butchering of that. But this is a San Jose Sharks alternate artwork, alternate language jersey. And this I paid $0.25 for. And it has nice embellishments on the sleeves. This is about a $20 to $25 piece. Now, obviously, the velocity isn't going to be huge on that. I don't know what it is. There's not a lot of Hispanic hockey fans. But for those that are out there, then this might be something that they'd want. But again, because it isn't an actual team name, it doesn't have that same branded appeal as a San Jose Sharks one would have. But again, at $0.25, you can't say no. What else did we get? I got this really cute Figment Epcot shirt. It's a little wrinkly right now. I did just kind of plop them into a bin. Odds are I'll de-wrinkle them before I put them away in inventory. I paid $0.25 again for this. This all came from the same house. I paid $0.25 for that. I think it's listed for about $25. The only other comps are around $35, and they're really hideous looking compared to mine. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about too, is that I've noticed my items are selling faster and sometimes even for more money because I do feel I take very incredible photos. And I was going to do a tutorial and teach you all how I process my photos. And I process each photo. It takes me anywhere between 3 to 6 seconds to process one photo. And that basically means having it imported in front of me, highlighting and cropping, and then color grading the photo, and then moving to the next photo. It takes 3 to 6 seconds per photo, but my photos look amazing. And originally when I was doing this process, I was only focusing on the key photo, the first photo. But now I've realized, I'm like, if I'm working on a listing and it has 10 photos, it's going to take me less than a minute. Just spend the minute, make your photos look gorgeous. And I have had incredible velocity on the newer items that I've been pushing through since I started doing that. And I can't say that that's going to be a guaranteed thing, because that would just make me as bad as the no star wannabe flipper guys out on YouTube. But it appears to be benefiting my sales, and you may want to consider experimenting it for yourself. So another great piece that I got. This one is actually from Disneyland Resort. Has a nice little sew-in there, and I can't find this anywhere online. This is a children's Pixar Animation Studios red little t-shirt. It might be a woman's cut, but it's kind of hard to say. You know, when it comes to youth wear, it's really difficult to say. And it has, you can see that very faint silhouette of their logo. And I think it might even be photoreactive possibly, but it's very, very faint in there. You can see it. But that's a great little piece too. I think this one's listed for $35 just because you can't find any comps on that one. Well, say hello to your father for me, Vertical. I appreciate that. But yeah, great piece. Picked it up again for $25. And then this one, this is a mildly not safe for work shirt. This is a row team shirt. And on the back side it says top 10 reasons why rowing is better than sex. And there's a whole list of reasons. I'll let you find one. Go ahead and read it to yourself and chuckle. Wasn't that a good laugh, right? So I have that one listed up. I think I'm asking $20 on it. It's obviously a homemade one-off piece, but why not? And then I got this nice Nike golf shirt. And this is what I was talking about. You know, I'm literally scraping things from people that look at this and they consider it all worthless. It's so weird at these estate sales. And I paid $25 for this. I'm going to get $20 to $25 used for that on the secondary market. Obviously, great looking photo, proper title, proper item specifics, good shipping options, metrics that buyers actually care about. And I don't know if any of you saw this. I put up a post today talking about how Amazon's dealing with their returns. In some categories, they're dealing with 40% return rates. 40%. Just imagine for a moment, okay, if 40% of your items came back every single month, logistically, what that would mean for your business. And it blows my mind. And I am hoping, and this is kind of a long shot, I am hoping that people get outraged enough that it actually permanently adjusts what we consider the retail standard when it comes to dealing with returns. And I think it's a very nasty thing what Amazon has done by creating that as the retail standard. And it's also very nasty what they did by giving out that $15 an hour minimum wage, because they were already paying like $13.50 an hour. And then by them giving it to everyone, it makes all these other businesses who can't afford to pay that because they're not a multi-billion-dollar international conglomerate, they're not able to pay that because they don't have that type of revenue coming in. But yet they're pushing for other brands to do the same. I don't know. I don't want to go on a tangent right now, but hopefully the return situation will fix itself soon. Okay, let's take a look at a few more pieces. Let's get away from the fabrics here. I got this one piece. I can't list this online right now because this is a medical device, and I am restricted from listing in medical because of the price gouging policy that happened due to COVID. This is a full-size body sling. This is for getting somebody up and out of a bed with this nice meshy body sling, full-size harness. It's worth $50. If anyone can guess how much money I made on that sale, I'll give you a free month of Patreon to come check out what we're all doing. Feel free to guess any number in the comments. I'll tell you what, I'll even tell you the name of the item, and I'll give everyone 30 seconds to guess. I sold a Dragonite Plush. It'll be coming up here soon. 7-inch Dragonite Plush. So, oh, here it is actually. This is it. How much do you think that this bad boy is worth? Get within a nickel. But this is another one of the great items I picked up. We did a lot with Plush this week too. Picked up this one. This is Shotgun Red. I don't know anything about him. I know some of you are probably screaming at the computer right now like, oh my god, it's Shotgun Red. I'm sorry. I have no clue who this guy is. I just know that my hat for this guy is in immaculate condition. I was at an estate sale and I see people just not really pay attention. They only look at the boxes. I'm looking at the walls. I want to see what type of portraits you have up. I want to see what types of decorations you have lying around. Oh, you have a VCR hooked up to the TV. Oh, it plays DVDs as well. How much is that? Okay, I'm scouring everywhere I go, and this was sitting on top of their mantle. I'm like, how much are you guys selling stuffed animals for? Okay, and he's like, oh, just go ahead and he's like, just what can you do? I'm like, I'll give you like $1 or $2. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So I picked this up. I think I paid $1, and this is listed for probably $35 because of the condition that's in right now. Speaking of plushies, I also got this little cutie. Some of you are going to recognize this one immediately. This is a little Pikachu, and if he had the batteries in him, which I have tested him, he works great. The arms move in and out, the mouth moves forward and backwards, and then the cheeks light up. And I think the ears might move a little bit. I can't remember, but it's a fully functional piece. This is from 1998, I believe. And this sells for around $30 to $40, depending on the condition and the functionality of the piece. It's a great piece. None of you guys are right so far, but feel free to try. And then I got this Master Chief helmet, and I thought that this might be a good idea to wear inside of the Walmart, but the girlfriend is refusing to let me wear this into the store. But I told her it would be a perfectly acceptable mask. But she said no. Pick this up. This has a list price depending on how aggressive you want to be. I've seen helmets like this sell for $150 for the full size helmets. I have mine listed at $100. It has an impact mark here in the front and center. It has some abrasions across the front, but the interior is wonderful. And the thing is too about some of these battle scars, it already has natural fake battle scars built into it. So this is one of those things that you can get it dinged up, and it's not really going to destroy the aesthetic of the item. It's kind of just like a preferential type thing, but I kind of like the mark on the front. I kind of like that. It's got a little bit of a punch hole, like you almost got hit by a stray bullet, but you didn't. I paid, where did I buy this at? I bought this at this yard sale. This guy had a ton of plush. It was a really interesting yard sale. I got some stories for you that are going to be coming up if you want some good stories. I think I paid $3 for this. And again, it has a list price of $75 to $150. Mine's listed at $100. Really cute Mickey and Minnie emoji pillows. I wouldn't buy these again, I'll be honest with you. I think they listed for $18, but it was part of a bigger deal. Picked up this girl. This is a Star Ocean action figure. If you're out in the field and you see, like an anime figure, and I guess that's the best way to describe it, just an anime figure, you can tell it's like Japanese animation style, and you're not sure who it is, and you're not sure if it is worth something. If you want some just general guidelines, does it look like it's a quality piece? I would say look at the coloring. Make sure the coloring doesn't extend past the edges. A lot of these are hand painted, the high-end ones. So if it has really close colors next to each other, for instance, and you're like, okay, that had to be hand finished because that's far too nice. Okay, that's generally a good indicator. If it has a lot of points of articulation, the arm moves in almost every single direction. The wrist even turns. Okay, so it has a lot of articulation to it. That's generally a good sign. Accessories are nice as well. But even if you don't recognize it, this one I had to ask for help. This one's actually from Star Ocean, which is, I believe, both a manga and a video game for the PS2. This one right here sells for about $50 on eBay, and I took some stunning photos of this piece, and you can look it up right now. You can just type in Star Ocean figure. I can't even remember her name, but it is up on eBay. Great piece. I paid, I think, $3 for this one again as well. Those of you guessing, that Dragonite was actually a shocker to me. When I bought it, I thought for damn sure I hit the gold mine because it's a vintage Ban Presto Dragonite, and I thought, man, this is going to be some great money. It sold just now for $11.95. So every now and then, your Ban Presto isn't going to come through for you. While we're on it, I also got this 4-H sign. And when I looked this up, I saw a bunch of different 4-H signs. And and they were going for like $40 to $50. Between the time I got the purchase to the time I got to the point of listing it, somebody had listed 3 brand new signs like this. Brand new, unused, still in the package, and they had them listed for, I think, $29.99, $24.99, something really cheap. But I tried to price mine appropriately. I just wanted out the door. But these old 4-H member signs, they're kind of neat. And I thought for sure somebody was going to be interested in it. While I was at that house, you know, and I tell people, you gotta slow down. Why are you going so fast? Daniel was in front of me, because we all went together. It was me, Daniel, and the girlfriend. I just watched him just power down this row at an estate sale. And I don't even know if he bought anything while we were there. And he walked right past this little gem. Okay, this is a Grower's Weed Identification Handbook. And when I picked it up and I started flipping through it, you know what the guy tells me? He's like, man, when I got that thing new, it cost me $150. Great. And it had a $3 price tag on the front. And if you open it up, what it is, it shows you every single different type of weed, where they come from, the history of the weed, how to treat the weed, things to know about it, all kinds of different stuff. And then there's even a pair of magnifying glasses up here at the front. Obviously, they weren't originally included, but I included it with the sale. This lists and sells consistently around $90 to $100. Okay, $90 to $100. And this is one of those things that you would just, most people, and I watched it because I don't go to estate sales early. I get to estate sales around noon, 11 o'clock. Everyone walk right past this because it's not an electronic, or it's not a video game, or it's not a piece of lolique. It's not something that people know. Okay, look up oddball items. You'll make yourself a lot of money. This week alone, I probably brought in, actually probably over the last 2 weeks, I probably brought in somewhere in the area of like $4,000 to $5,000 worth of inventory. I know I added to my eBay store over 100 brand new SKUs to the store, items that have never been up there before. Stopping in to say hi, hustling like crazy. I'll catch the replay. Hope everyone is killing it. Thanks, Mr. Exquisite. Hope you're doing well too. Let me know what you score out there. I do love seeing people's scores too. Don't be afraid to post them up on the group. I love seeing what you get. And then sometimes if you get something cool, I might be interested in buying it. There was those lollipop chainsaw prints. I offered a couple $100 on them, but she wants a little bit more. I don't blame her. But if you got something cool, I might buy it. What else we got? Got this Pittsburgh Steelers hat. Normally I don't buy hats, okay, but this one's brand new, has the barcodes and the stickers front and back, and this little descriptor right here tells me exactly how to identify this hat. I went ahead and got it. I got it listed for $30. I paid $1 for it. While I was at that same yard sale, I also picked up a few camera lenses. And when I was negotiating with her, I think she wanted like $20 or $30. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, I really can't pay that much. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to have a lot of work into taking the time to actually clean these things up, which is true. And before you get too excited, it is a big lens, but it's not a super valuable lens. People, hey, if you're interested in that hat, Jane, send me a message. People don't really want this particular one, so the list price is around $80. I'm hoping that I'll get that out of it, especially with the case. But I did actually take the entire thing apart, and as you can see, there's no, we call it lens rot. There's no lens rot on the interior. You can see a nice, beautiful, undisturbed image on the back side. But it took maybe, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes to get it cleaned up. So I'm hoping I'll get that money out of it. And then I also have 2 other lenses that should be inside of cases, but they aren't. This is a ultra wide adapter. This thing's worth, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks. This is a nice, what is this one? A Solagor lens. And then I also have an Olympus with an automatic feed on it. And that one is worth, I don't know how much it's worth. I don't know, 60, 70 bucks. So I picked up about $200 worth of lenses and lens accessories for about $10. And again, I was with other people who walked right past it. Hey, if anyone is looking to have a gender reveal and you need some confetti cannons and you don't want to start a forest fire that's going to displace thousands of people from their homes, this is an option right here. I picked up the pair of these for $1. Normally I wouldn't, but they're really high quality. The gold wrap, you know how, like, Some women want the glitzy stuff compared to some of the basic stuff online. I'm going to get about $25 for the pair here on this one. Hopefully I can get them shipped cheaply, but again, free money, I was already there. So here's a category of items that I have known about for half a decade. It's one of the things that I've actually learned a little bit more from Auction Professor. You know, I don't necessarily think some people are built to teach people how to sell on eBay, but I do feel that some people have vast amounts of knowledge within their head that you can learn a lot as far as sourcing inventory and different types of bolos and things to keep your eyes peeled for. His mind is wide on that, and this is one of those categories that I learned a little bit from him, and this is an antique toaster. And I never, ever find these for what I consider to be a reasonable price. Now, I listed this as an auction because I didn't know much about it. And there's the interior there. And I actually put in the item description, I said, hey, if you have any information about this, please let me know. It would be truly appreciated. And I guess the toaster collectors out there are more helpful than some other categories. And somebody actually messaged me today and said, based on my cord, it's one of those fabric braided ones and really old broken hardware here at the end. And this is also listed as well. He said that this is a 1930s toaster. And he actually left a link to a Worth Point listing, but I haven't taken the time to go look at it yet. I was working the other job, but he just sent me that information about an hour ago. So here's a 1930s toaster, and I think I paid $3 or $4 for it. That same yard sale, I also got that exit sign back there. And I'll say this, it's a pretty damn sweet exit sign. It's very heavy. It's solid metal. It weighs nearly 10 pounds. I have it listed for $200, but I'd be happy to take $100 on it. If it fails to sell, I'll be able to keep it back there, no problems. While I was also there, I got, you can see that little bottle off to the side. Here's another one of them right here. And this is the nicer one of the two that I might not be selling, but this is it right here. A very odd shape, as you can tell. And I believe what this is it's a bottle that was taken off the production line before it was completed. And then I believe it was stamped, and then it was given out at the International Soda Conference Expos that they did every single year. And I believe that this was given out around the 70s. Now, this is based on what I saw of a collection of similar items, but not because of any information that I can actually find online about this bottle. There was one other listing that actually just ended today at auction. I didn't see the end price, but it was around $22 when I looked at it last. And I also have an auction starting at $40, and we'll see what I can get for it. I paid $3 for each one of these, so I can't complain about the price, but we'll see what happens with it. Here's the other lens I was talking about, the Olympus lens. And all four of these pieces, I took each one of them apart, cleaned out the insides, got them looking beautiful and ready for sale. And that's part of the reason why I'm going to get max value. It probably took about an hour to do all four of them. Another category of items that I've known about, again, for probably about a decade now, but I've never come across one in person, or at least come across one in person at a good price, is an Ertl. Have you ever seen Ertls before? This is certainly something to keep your eyes open for. It's ERTL is the brand name on them, and I don't know much about them other than they make really nice toys that people want to collect. This is a full metal body here at the bottom with the plastic lid. This is a cotton picker, hopper, some type of thing like that. And this toy in this condition is worth roughly $30 to $35. So keep your eyes peeled for these little guys. And take some time to clean them up and make them look good. And I think I paid $5 for this. And again, it's more than I wanted to pay, but I was really crushing it. This is the same place I got the weed binder, same place I got the exit sign and the models at. I had the 4-H stuff came from there. I have no problem paying for this. All those shirts that you saw, every one of the shirts came from that same sale as well. I think all in all, I ended up spending $20 on damn near $500-600 worth of inventory, so I can't complain. Cleaning the camera lens. Did you do it live or make a video? No, I did not do it live, actually. I sat there and I spun them apart, and then I had a microfiber cloth in my hand, and then I had some lens cleaning solution, screen cleaner, alcohol-free screen cleaner, and I basically laid the lens into my hand on top of the rag, spritzed it both sides, got the big stuff off, moved it over, spritzed it again, detailed it, polished it up real nice, and then inserted it back in again. So not all lenses can be taken apart in that way, but the ones that can be, it's a great way to make an item look brand new again before you fire it out the door. So, yep, keep your eyes open for Ertls. They come in all different colors, styles, and shapes. They even have small ones the size of die-cast cars, and then they have large ones like 1/6 or 1/8 scale or 1/12 scales or something like that. And if you like that exit sign, it can be yours for $100 shipped. I'll drop it off at your hand. Drop it off at your house. Exactly, Jay. I missed those videos and the lives. Well, hey, you know, it's hard, man. It's hard. I want to make videos on everything I do some weeks, but just logistically, just even setting up. Remember that repair video that I did downstairs? That required me to haul all my gear downstairs. Lights, microphones, field recorders, batteries, lenses, batteries for the cameras, all kinds of stuff. Had to get drugged down there to be able to set that up. And a computer. I had to bring a computer down there too and hook everything up. So it probably took me about an hour just to be able to turn the camera on for that. So it's a lot more than people realize. Even these productions, these can take a little bit. But like I said, tonight's a lazy night. So you know what I want to do? Let me make sure I can switch over. If you want, let's take a minute. Let's talk about online advertising. And we're going to transition back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my camera. Where can I get myself? Because I want to be positioned in a way that I'm out of the way. No, I don't want it pointing out the door though. Let's see. And I don't really, actually, you know what I'll do? Here, we'll do this. We're just going to move my image. Let me see if we can get, there we go. And then what we'll do is we'll take myself. Let's slide me over. How's that sound? You know, we can probably make me a little bit smaller too. There we go. Let's do that. Guys, we're going to talk about creating effective online ads. Now here you can see in this little window here, let me make this a little bit bigger so that way you can't see all my darn bookmarks and everything. Maybe that's too big. Hold on one second, guys. Let's do that. Let's do that. There we go. No, hold on. I do think I might have made it worse than it was. See, this is what happens when you strike. Okay, whatever, we'll have the bars at the top. So I wanted to talk with you this week about effective online advertising. Here on the sidebar, you're going to see that there's a lot of different pieces of content that I've made. And over the years, these are all different slides that I made for the show, thumbnails, different things that you've seen every one of these slides. And those of you who didn't know, I made every single one of these by hand, and I made them within this basic piece of software. Even the flyers that we use, all the thumbnails, different projects that I've worked on for different people, backgrounds, you name it. Every single bit was done. Who remembers this bad boy? Remember when we were doing the show on one of these? Remember this? You guys remember this? This was made by me. Every single piece was hand-aligned and hand-centered, and we've never outsourced any of our artwork. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk with you about making effective creations for yourself. And the website that we're using, it's called Poster My Wall, but you can use any like online thing, and you can use a free one. The first thing I do is I always make my ads to be a standardized size. So we're going to do 1080 by 720. Let me pop out a window really quick so that way I can see chat while I'm talking with you. Now, if any of you have questions during this process, please don't be afraid to ask. I understand for some of you this is just going to be like completely foreign. So let me give you like a brief rundown of why this is so important as a reseller. So To be successful as a reseller, you really need to make sure you have a high number of contacts on a regular basis. Now, whether that's you going to a thrift store, you going to a yard sale, you going to a swap meet, you going to a convention, whatever it may be, the more contacts that you can make with other people, the more odds and more scenarios you put yourself in to actually be able to sell or to be able to potentially buy. And people need to know that you do this. And this is something that I've talked about forever now. If you live in a town and the people in that town don't know what you do, you're really missing opportunities. You want your name to be a go-to name within your area. Your neighbors should know what you do at some level. Oh yeah, that's the person down the street. He does buying and selling for a living. Hey, maybe I could ask that guy how much blank is worth. Great, I've created another contact. Okay. And if you're at your local thrift store, the people at your local thrift store should know exactly what you do. So when such and such expensive item comes in and they don't know what to do with it, hey, maybe we can talk to that one guy and he can give us some guidance, or maybe he would be interested in buying it. The same thing runs true of actually creating ads locally for yourself. You need to be set up in a way to where you have point of contacts happening often. So I'll have ads running on both Facebook, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. I'll jam them in there as well. You can create a business page. You can run them on your website. You can use third-party ads through online. You can run classified ads. There's a lot of local places that'll let you do free classified ads. And you're saying, well, what do I actually want to buy? You can pick your target market however you would like. Do you like old bottles? Cool. Run ads telling people that you buy old bottles. Do you like signs? Do you like clocks? Do you like sports memorabilia? Do you like it when it's all three? Cool. Run ads telling people that you want to buy that. So I'd like a suggestion from somebody who's viewing right now to let me know what type of ad we can make for you. And the first person who jumps in with an item that they're interested in buying, we can start there. So the goal of the ads is to actually be able to buy stuff from people. Because people have stuff that they want to sell, and 99 out of 100 times, it's a simple matter of helping them find the person who wants to make the buy. Okay, so being able to marry the two of them together. And I don't care what the category is. I have ads running to buy books. I have ads running to buy records. I have ads running to buy video games. I have ads running to buy vinyl figures. What else do I have? I have ads running to buy trading cards. There is no specific category that has to be your go-to, I need to be buying this every day or I'm SOL. You need to stay very varied. Okay, and I say very varied often, but it's how you really win, because I'm not going to get a call on trading cards 7 days a week. It's not going to happen. But I'm going to get a call each and every day on one of the categories that I buy for. Okay, so does anyone have something that they really specialize in, that they would like to be able to buy some of those items for within their local area? And the real premise of the ad is we're going to be telling people that we buy, okay, that we're going to make it seem as if, though, that it's going to be worth their trouble to reach out to you, whether it's through emphasizing that you're an expert or whether it's through emphasizing that you're going to pay them really well. We're going to leave contact information, which is going to be like your name, your number, and if necessary, maybe a slight disclaimer at the bottom so that way people understand. If you live out of town from your area code, for me, I live in the 661 and my phone number is 559, I have to leave a disclaimer telling people that I'm local, because people call me and they say, are you even local, or do I have to mail you stuff? So that means I need to leave that disclaimer in place as well. No one wants me to create a free ad for them? I mean, I can slap something together for you real quick. That's beautiful. So here, we're going to go and get started. So 1280 by 720. We're going to tell it just to make it a solid color, and we can change this later. Again, this is completely free to use if you want to use this application, and if you have your own photo software, you can, but I've been using this for a while. I like the fact that I can import clip art very quickly, and I can host a whole bunch of images on here as well. So let's just go ahead and let's think of a... what is something, I'm gonna go ahead and make an ad for me. What is something that I want to buy right now? What is the next great thing? Vintage. No. I don't even want to say that one on air. What do I want to buy right now? Let's just keep it simple, okay? We're going to go with old electronics. I know there's a lot of people out there that are buying iPads and iPhones and stuff like that. We're going to kind of go with the same idea. The goal of the ad is to have it be visually appealing so that somebody scrolling through is actually going to slow down and click on it. So the first thing I like to do is I like to Google and see what my competitors are doing. So here we're going to switch over windows and we're going to just type in I buy old electronics, and then we're going to click on images because we want to see what type of images other people are using. And you're going to see some great examples. You're going to see some crummy examples. This is a decent example. It's a nice looking ad. So that's one direction that you can go. Some of your broken electronics, that's another great direction you can go. Okay, so let's go ahead and now I'm going to find some images. Old electronics. That's nice. Now, some of these are going to be watermarked. Obviously, you might not have the rights and or clearance to be able to use certain images. This is a great start. It's a good looking image. So I'm going to add this really quick. Okay. So there's things that you can do within here, like pulling your background. You see how it had that greenish background? You can just pull that background very easily. I also noticed that this is a little bit cut up here, so I might want to fill this whole side over here, just like that. Or I can even work it within a box here. So when it comes to creating the image, it's important that we both create space for branding, if we're going to be using a branded name for whatever operation you're doing. And then again, like I said, it needs to be visually appealing. So we're going to just throw some text on here. We buy broken electronics. And then over here on the side, you can go through and you can change the font out. It needs to be big, big and impactful. Center it out. Now, when it comes to using these, okay, I recommend spreading these ads everywhere. And once you've made them, okay, you can continue to reuse them for years on end. So it's okay to spend just a little bit of time, and I'm going to click the send to back option to move that to the back. It's okay to spend a little bit of time working to create a good looking ad that you can use for years on end. And like I said, this is a completely free online application. I know some of you are going to look at this and you're like, man, this ad looks hideous. But we're going to find a way to make it work. Oh my gosh, come on. You also notice these little snap lines. You see how that line's appearing? That lets me know that we're right in the center of the artwork. And then there's an alignment option over here on the side. This is what I'm clicking here. This allows me to center it. This is where you get all, like, basically anything that you need is going to be over here. And this is a very, very user-friendly application to be working with, especially for it being free. Now, if you want to download like super high resolution files, I believe it's $10 a month. I think that's what I'm paying, but it allows me to host all my images right on the internet as well. And it allows me to access my work from any computer. So if I'm remote and I don't have access to my main computer, I can access all of my artwork and projects that I'm already working on. And once it's done, I can even come back in and I can do re-editing as well. So I also recommend having a little list of things that you buy. And you can literally build up a robust list of like old electronics that other people aren't buying. Because obviously if you do just iPads and iPhones, you're in a hyper competitive space. You're going to be spending a ton of money on stuff like that. You can either even have your images be a little bit more geared towards the type of items that you want to buy. And then again, here we're going to just scooch this over to the right. So, and then you can even go through, and if you want to be exceptionally lazy, you can rework it so that way you can use the same exact formatting and then just go through and change your image around and then change the text around. I don't know how I'm feeling about the pastels anymore. And this is going to happen. Like I said, just tweak with it, play with it, have some fun. Do what works best for you. One of the other things too is you want to make sure you actually soak up all this void space. When I see really ineffective ads, I'll see ads that that aren't utilizing all of the space that they have, but it's not too difficult. Call today and get a free quote. It's pretty damn decent. I'm not upset about that one. So let me ask, okay, if you were in the market to sell something, you got something that you want to sell. Okay, I'm trying to change this background right now. If you were in the market to sell and you had some of these things laying around, would you give this person a call? Does the ad look professional enough that you would want to work with them? Also avoid fonts like this where it's kind of hard to read. You don't really want that. Hey, that's a good font right there. Look how well that marries with that. I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty pleased with that. Electronics. There we go. Thank you. Looks great. So if anyone wants that, by all means, screen cap it. Okay. But if you want it, I'll tell you what, just reach out. I'll put your phone number in there and you tell me what items you want. But this is how you do it. This is just how easy it is. And I tell people, make a handful of these for each category that you love working in. I'm not saying make it for every category because you're going to be there all day long and you're going to be buying crap you don't care about. But if you like video games or you like electronics or you like textiles or you like toys or whatever it might be, make pretty looking ads that look professional, that make people want to call you. And then on Craigslist, you can spend $2 a month to be in the premium position of being an actual business, like a business style listing. So I spend, I don't know, $6 to $12 a month on paid ads on Craigslist. I usually get about a 500 to 1 return on that. Okay, I get, or maybe not 500, probably about 100 to 1 return on that. I get at least $1,000 worth of inventory in per month off of Craigslist. And then on Facebook Marketplace, it usually opens up a door either for a buyer or a seller where I'm making a new point of contact with somebody. I'm talking with somebody about either Bolorama. I'm talking with them about different stuff that I buy. It's also important too when you have people call you in and they say, oh yeah, no, I have this and this that I'm looking to sell. Are you interested? Hey, most definitely. And talk with them about that. But when you're done, talk with them about other stuff too. Say, hey, no, I actually buy this, I buy that, I buy this, I buy that. Here's my eBay store. Feel free to look through it. If you see anything that you think you have or something similar, let me know. If you have something you think is worth money, but you're not sure, let me know. Okay. You're creating more opportunities for point of contacts in the future. And then when you're done doing business with them, what do you tell them? Say, hey, it was great working with you. And if you know anyone else who has this type of stuff or even anything for that instance, they're looking to sell, let me know, please. I'd be happy to work with them. And if you do connect me with somebody and I can do some good business with them, I'll be happy to give you a referral. So, you know, 20, 40 bucks for your trouble, you know, go have a nice lunch or a nice dinner or something if you're able to help connect me with somebody. Okay. So don't leave any of those stones unturned. How many different ads do you run at a given time? And you only run on Craigslist and Facebook. It really depends on how aggressive I want to go. Here, let me get my windows. Let me turn this off really quick. There we go. It's juicing my computer right now. Give me 1 second. How do I make this? I gotta do it manually. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so the question is, sorry, let me close that. How many do I run at any given time? I usually run anywhere between 3 to 6 paid ads on Craigslist at any given time. And this is only as a part-time effort. If I was taking this very seriously, like my goal was to do just reselling full time. Like I'm not doing the Bolorama stuff. I'm not doing census. I'm not doing side projects or anything like that. I would probably be running ads in every town up to probably about 250 miles away, up and down California. When I do move, I plan to reestablish my name in that area. But at the same time, you know, I really recommend people sharpen up on other things. There's this channel, and I've talked about it many times already. And it's called Reserved Investments. And it's partly why I chose to keep some books for myself and why I'm working my way through this one right now. And there's more books up there, and I might be doing some video essays on them. But run your ads and then also invest in research and knowledge at the same time. I think that's going to be the best way to go. But if I was going full tilt and I was only concerned on the money, I would probably have like 50 to 100 active ads at any time. On Facebook right now, I have 3 or 4, and then I would be reaching out to local newspapers and stuff like that, and I would getting ads ran there too. Anyone who's willing to give out free advertising, if it's good advertising, you should certainly take it. And not all the ads on Craigslist cost money either, so you can go about it where you don't have to spend money to get your ads in front of people if you want to get them in front of people. So let's go ahead and pull up a couple more items before I lose every single one of you. Got some Betsy Johnson glasses. This is a brand that was a little bit hotter, but they've kind of gone a little bit too mass market, so the prices are coming down a bit on them. This was also posted in the group. It was a great example of doing some color grading. And then I also got this. Is this even staying on there? Vintage Bulldog pencil sharpener. I was always told that these old pencil sharpeners are worth good money, and I bought this one. I paid $1 for it. It's only worth $12. I would not buy this item again. This is another one of those things where you just hear nonsense on the internet and you just kind of hope it's true when you're in the moment buying stuff, but don't buy this crummy one. Do independent research on them if you do plan to buy them. What was the name of that program you used to create that ad? It's actually called Poster My Wall, and it's a web-based photo editor. You can use it on any type of computer, and it's completely free. And if you do use some stuff, it'll be watermarked, like if you're using some of the photos that they have. But I do recommend, if you plan on doing any amount of photo work semi-seriously, like you don't need a Photoshop and you don't like the native application on your computer, I would say check it out for a few months. Like I said, I pay $10 or $11 a month, and I'm not dissatisfied. And they have been taking that money and they've been greatly improving it. Like that background removal, I'm actually surprised with how well that worked, because it's kind of been crummy before. I used to go through and manually cut out, like, you know, those thumbnails where you have like a face of somebody or something. I went through and I manually cut each one of those images out to be able to make those. So that was pretty slick with how well it's working now. Picked up a vintage copy of Hexed. And what's really great, or it's Hexed, is this one's actually brand new. It has the shrink wrap all around it. I guess this is how they shrink wrapped them back in the day instead of shrink wrapping the entire box. I think I have this listed at around $40 or $50. It's one of the only new ones that I've ever seen. There's not even any examples on Terapeak over the last year of this selling new. So hopefully I'll get that. I bought this at a thrift store. I paid $2 for it. Got some cute Disney signs. Girlfriend recommended I get these. They wanted $4 each on them. We got them to negotiate it down to $2 each, and I have a private buyer lined up on these. I'm going to be taking $20 locally for the pair, but if I was to list this one has a list and sell-through price of $25. This one's about closer to $10 or $12, so I'm very, very pleased to be taking $20 locally on the pair of them. Also, too, while we're on it, if you want to spend time together, if you want to spend an hour together working on ads for your brand, we can build you custom ads. And this is a very light example of the ads that can be made. Here, I'll even show you really quick some of the other examples. I'll show you one of the ads that I'm running, and it does have my actual phone number on there. Please only call me if you're looking to sell stuff. Here's one that I did for books. Okay. So it says, looking to sell your old books or simply have them removed, call us today and schedule a drop-off or visit to view your collection. And then here at the bottom, it says, feel free to call us regarding toys, cards, comics, video games, pulp culture, bulk items. I'm a private collector/reseller located and purchasing in the Bakersfield and greater, it should say area, but it's not there for some reason. So that's one for books. And like I said, I run all kinds of different ones. Let me see if we got some of the other ones. Here's one for video games. And these were all made in like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. But if you want to spend some time talking about your brand and what you're looking to accomplish and get a little bit of research in your area. Oh, and another thing you'll notice too is I watermark all my ads. You see here in the background how it has my name and number very lightly in the background. The last thing you want to do is make a great ad and then have some knob come along and just put a block over top of your contact information, just like this, and then type in their own information right on top of yours, okay? Because they're basically able to steal your entire ad. So if you watermark it like this, okay, it keeps people from being able to do that. But I just want to share that really quick with you. If you want to get together, reach out to me. Bolorama.com is the best way to do that. And from there, you can schedule time with me. I do have a lot of time coming up next week, and I promise you right now, or your money back, because it's $100, okay? And I know that's not cheap. Nobody likes to spend $100 to have somebody help them with anything ever, okay? But if you do not make $100 in sales or profits or potential earning profits from running ads in your area, in your town, I will hand you your $100 back. And I don't care if we made you half a dozen ads in that 1 hour, but the goal is to create nice, beautiful, impactful ads that will get people picking up the phone. Obviously, a little bit of responsibility falls on your part. We can have a very long discussion about how to actually interact with people from the public, but you should be making about $1,000 a month just from free ads. It really helps my bottom line. Just something to consider. This is the next item up. Very, very cool bracelet. Gold and turquoise style tone. Expanding bracelet. The maker mark on it is The Leading Lady by Harwood. And these sell anywhere between $20 up to this one, which I'm asking, I believe, $40 or $50 for. The condition on this piece is absolutely immaculate. There's no defects in the coloring whatsoever. This was found at the bottom of a box at an estate sale. And I saw these rooms and they're like, oh yeah, there's nothing left back there. There's only a few things in this one room. And I just watched people coming in and out of these rooms. And nobody stopped to look at that box. Because I think there was some like medical heating pad on top. And I just start ripping through the thing. I don't care. I'm digging in there. And I had other people looking over my shoulder trying to see what I was finding. I didn't care. I was just going straight through it. And then I found this bracelet down there. I saw the lady. I'm like, hey, how much do you want for it? She's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, let me give you $1. She's like, okay. And I could feel the person next to me, like their happiness just escape their body in that moment, knowing that they didn't get that item. But you have to uncover every single stone. There's money to be made everywhere, and you have to look up new categories as well. What else do we got? This is finally getting pulled down off of my shelf. I had this come in a while ago. I think I listed this for like $40 or $50. There are no images of this online. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I even put that in my listing. I said, if you become the owner of this, you have essentially the exclusive printing rights to all images of this item for the rest of time. It will not show up again. But this has been on my back display for probably about 3 months, and now it's listed. And this is Animal Toys Incorporated. And I even tried researching them, and there's almost nothing around for them. I think I have this listed for like $50. It's important that the item does sell, because you don't want to price it at $1 million just because you're the only one that has one. But I have to ask myself, what would I take if somebody came to my door right now to buy it? I'd like at least $40 for this. This is a pretty rare piece. This is from 1987. Okay, so that makes it a 33-year-old piece. That's not bad. And I think I should get that for it, but I'll keep you posted. Picked up this vintage Disney Loungefly bag. This is before all the Loungefly bags look like Loungefly bags. You know what I'm talking about. It has been damaged and tied off, but this print is very difficult to find, and I think I'm going to get $20 to $25 for it. I have it listed as an auction right now. It has watchers and crazy amounts of views, so hopefully it'll do well. A little boho style on it. Got some really, really great plushies. All of these plushies came from the same place. We're going to kind of go through them really quick. This is these Disney park ones. These tags sometimes increase the value of an item by 30 or 40% opposed to the ones that are sold in the stores. This Skywalker or Jedi Mickey piece sells for about $25. Paid $1 for that one. Picked up this cute fox for some reason. This is about a $20 fox. Don't know why. Paid $1 for that one. After I listed all these items over the last few days, this item was the one that shocked me the most with the number of views that it actually got. This is about a $20 SpongeBob. I would have never thought. And when I was at that sale, I was basically piling every single pulp culture piece I could into one big pile to get a big bulk discount. And this is one of the ones I threw on there. I said, even if it's not worth anything, I'll drag it to the next convention. $20 piece right there. This guy is missing some type of robe. But again, another $20 plushie, really super soft too. It's as soft as it looks, honestly. This one is from Tenjo Tenge. Y'all recognize her, right? So this plush is very hard to come by. There's none available online. I can't find any sales history for it whatsoever. I think this is worth about $50. I think that's what I listed it for. And I know that seems bonkers, but we actually have this one, which I got as well. And this one sells for, I had an offer for $24 the other day. I have it listed for $30. I will get $30. It has half a dozen watchers within 2 days, which is bonkers. But some of these little anime plushes, I tell you, if you get the authentic ones, make sure they're real, they go for great money. Except for this guy, Full Metal Alchemist. He's only worth $10. But again, I paid $1 for him. Here's a shocker. Here's one that really rattled me. The Cleveland show. This is Cleveland. If you didn't hear, the voice actor became woke this month. And he actually left his position because he said that it is better that it goes to a black person, and because he's white, the voice actor for this was a white guy. So this is a popular item. This sells for, on average, $40 to $50 for this plush, which blows my mind. The cheapest one available right now on eBay is $70 or $80 for a used one. I'm not going to join the herd on that one. This is one of those items I don't see being worth money a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, as soon as the show starts losing relevancy. I listed it for $50, brand new with the tag. If I get $50, I am fine with that. I paid $1 for this piece. So definitely keep your eyes open for Cleveland, okay? Super cute Jolteon. This is the I Heart Eevee lineup. This was a series that came out, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. I don't know why he had such nice pieces for sale for so cheap, but I guess he had been scouring yard sales and cons for a while. Has the tag, $50 plush. $50 plush. This is a Banpresto / Crane King, which means it has to be one from one of those Japanese UFO catchers. If you're not familiar with Japanese UFO catchers, I recommend you check out the channel Crane Couple. They make really, really cute and fun videos. This guy already sold. Does anyone want to guess how much he sold for? Give you 1 free month of Patreon. And if you are already a patron, we'll go ahead and credit you a month. But yeah, this bad boy sold. Very pleased with that. Picked this up again at the cost of $1 this week too. Great little piece though. But this is the Experiment 626 Alien Stitch figure. It's from the Disney store. Original MSRP of $8. This one is approximately 9 inches in height. I'm going to leave that one out for packing. Another Mickey, Indiana Jones one. This is what made me think about that tag, is that this has a $10 price difference from $20 to $30 if it has this tag on it, because I guess of the location that it came from. But $30 plush, again, I paid $1 for that one. And for those inquisitive minds, this Nemo, or Stitch, or whatever it is, this sold for $19.99. And there wasn't a ton of them online, but I'll tell you right now, you can go online, you can get one for less. My pictures are better. That's why it sold. There were some gorgeous pictures for that item. Here, I'll even show you right now. Maybe not gorgeous. Maybe I'm tooting my own horn a little bit. I have a cancellation request. Cancellation request. Respond now. Please let the buyer know if he wants to cancel the Dragonite. No, I can't cancel this order. Submit. We do not cancel orders. I had somebody message me the other day. What did they buy? They bought an expansion kit for a game. And in the title, the item description, and the condition notes, it stated, not complete. This is a partial set. I just didn't want to throw it away. A complete one is like $22. I sold this one for $12. I just wanted to get it out the door. It was a buy that went sour. And I'm like, no, I can't cancel it. I'm like, it's already packed up, and it's already packed up right now. And he's like, well, unpack it and cancel the order then. And no, like, if he had even come at me with any level of decency, I probably would have considered doing it. I'm not going to say for sure that I would, but I would have probably considered it. But then he hits me with that, and I said, oh no, you're misunderstanding. It's already like on its way, packed up, dropped off at the post office, which it wasn't. Okay, this person had like 12 feedback, and I'm like, it's already on its way. And then they message back and they say, how can I return? Or yeah, or how do I go about returning? And then I responded back, we do not accept returns. And I just left it at that. And I know some people are like, wow, that's really horrible customer service, and it's not. Okay, there's very clear and specific guidelines on how you buy items. You look at the item, you read about the item, and then you as an adult over the age of 18 make a buying decision on that item. Treat it like a yard sale. Remember when eBay was an online yard sale? Okay, you bought something and you kept it. If somebody sells you or sends you the thing that they stated they were going to send, you keep the item. Simple as that. Okay. At Jay's yard sale, there's no turning back. Once we've made the deal is done. Unless I drop on my end of the deal, then guess what? The deal ain't done then. So that happened. This person wants to cancel a Dragonite. That's not going to happen. Oh, I was going to show you the photos. I think they're stunning photos. Or at least better than my competitors. That's the other thing too, is I notice they don't have to be mind-blowing. They just have to be better than your competitors. Nice solid photo. I don't use background removers. I feel like it's important to have the actual like textile background. It's a very, very cute, very nicely done, I believe. Picked up another Charmander Toy Factory plush. This is 2 shows in a row now. This one has the actual tag with it. Not worth as much as you think it is. Apparently this is a very, very common piece. I'll be lucky to get $15 for this one, but that's just part of the market sometimes. Got this League of Legends hat. It's a great fit on me. Got that one for $1 or $2. I think it lists for about 20 bucks. Got my boy Nathan Drake. I think that's who this is. Uncharted 3 figure. This is a collector's piece figure from the PlayStation 4 release. There's the thumbnail. Damn Skippy. Good eye, buddy. Yeah. Got this cool piece. I think it's worth $40. I paid $3 for it again. All of his stuff was so cheap. Here is my other one. Picked up this lovely chalk art piece. I paid $3 for this one, and after I paid for this one, he's like, yeah, we got a broken one too. It's actually up on top here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's all the way in the back behind the other figures. And I know what you guys are thinking, oh my god, there's more shelves. Yes, there is more shelves. But the other one's in the back. I had to glue her up and get her fixed. Took like 2 days for that glue to cure, but sometimes it's about that item restoration. I'm sure you guys saw the owl that was inside the bowl of water. That owl isn't even worth much of anything. I think it's worth maybe like $13. And the only reason I cleaned and restored it is so that way we can either sell it, you know, for a few bucks at a yard sale, or we can give it away to a kid just to keep it from going in a landfill. And I tell people, sometimes it's your responsibility, if you bring in items, to take the time to clean and restore them, so that way they can continue to have a life rather than toss it in the bin. I try to avoid tossing things at all cost. But yeah, thrilled to have this for $3. I don't know anything about these at all. I know my father had some when I was growing up. I know I like the art aesthetic, but maybe after I'm done reading that book, I'll know a little bit more about it. Another plush that surprised me. This is an Anime Palace plush. It's a fox. For some reason, these foxes sell for $30 each. People want them. Thank you to everyone in the group who helped with this one. This is a Fruits Basket pillow plush from the early 2000s, I believe. This is a $40-ish piece. We're going to try and get it sold. If it doesn't sell, it's going to go to the girlfriend. She's expressed interest in it. And while doing research for that one, you guys know the stringy one that I had? The stringy one that I posted up as well is also from Fruits Basket. And I learned that after looking up the other one and then finding a comp that had both inside of the picture. You guys want to see something that's surprisingly expensive? I know I say that a lot, but man, have I been getting surprised. Guess how much this Bible is? The Thompson Chain Reference Study Bible, NIV. And I've had a couple of expensive Bibles, but this Bible lists for $100. Okay. Apparently these chain reference Bibles are like really good as far as like being able to trace back the origins of a story or the origin of a statement or supporting details. I guess it kind of, I don't know how it would work. It's like a reverse choose your own adventure. Okay. Like, you know, where the adventure's taken you, but it goes all the way back to biblical times, I suppose. But this is $100 book. I paid $1 for this one. Thrilled about that. And I promise you guys a story. So I'm at this house, and this is the house where I bought all of the plush from. All the plush, all the little figures that I showed you earlier. And there's even still a few more pieces that I got. And I was at this house for a while. I probably spent like 60 or 80 bucks at this one house. And then I leave the house, and within that area, there was 2 more yard sales. One up the street, one down the street. So I go up the street to the first one. And I'm looking through things. And normally, I'm not very cognizant of competitors or people around me. It's not a concern of mine at all. Out of nowhere, the guy who was running the last sale, who I just gave money to, shows up at the yard sale, reaches down, picks up a stack of PlayStation 2 games and says, "Hey, how much are these?" And I look over, and I see right there on top, I see a Battlefront 2, which is like a good, probably $20 bill for a Black Label one right now. He ends up buying the games for $1 each, okay? I'm a little bit salty, but I have to understand, I just made several $100s off of this guy. Easily several $100s. I already sold, a couple of the pieces that I got from there. So I start working my way on back. I wrap up there. I find a couple $100s worth of goods there. I'm very pleased, and I'll show you some of those items now. And I go past his house and exchange pleasantries. I see that he has a couple of the games out on his tables for sale already. I walk further down to the other sale, and now I'm taking my time and I'm going through the books. And I'm pulling all these first edition Tolkien books. I'm pulling these gorgeous art books. I'm grabbing these gorgeous reference books. I got samurai books. I got books from the 1920s as well. Some beautiful leather bound pieces. Very, very interesting stuff. I recommend you check out my store if you want to see them. It was a great time. Okay, and I'm sourcing. And then over my shoulder, here he comes again. And he sees something that I did not see. He sees a Fitbit scale. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, son of a gun, how did I miss that? Well, I missed it because I was blinded by shelves of gorgeous books. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. So I see him reach over and I start looking it up on my phone while I'm standing around the corner. I'm like, what the F is a Fitbit scale? I'd never even heard of it. And she's talking about it. She's like, oh yeah, it's just something that I won in a competition. It's not that, I don't even know. Like, I think it's like one of the older ones. And I look it up and the scales start around $50. And then I see him pick up that he has the additional unit with it, the actual adapter that goes with it. And I can see the packaging from the distance. This is it right here. And you'll learn about how this ended up in my hand. Okay. It's the Fitbit 1 and the matching Fitbit Aria scale. And he picks that up as well. And he starts to negotiate with her. And she's like, yeah, they're the old ones. I don't think they're worth anything. And I'm looking this up on my phone. And this is $140, $150. And the scale is like another $50. And I am like seething on the inside right now that I walked right by that. And he's like, well, how much are you trying to get for it? She's like, I don't know. I tried to get like $25 for it this morning. And, it just didn't seem like anyone wanted it. And he's like, well, would you take like $5 for it? And he's like, I want to get it for myself so I have a pedometer. I was thinking about doing like a fitness channel, this, that, and the other. And she's like, yeah, I'll sell it to you for $5. And at this point, I am just like super hot about it. Obviously, it's not my place. Okay, it's not my item. I have no claim to it whatsoever. So he ends up walking back to his house to get some cash. And I start talking to the lady. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that I probably tried to swindle it out of her, but I promise you I didn't. Okay, that wasn't my goal. But I told her, I'm like, hey, maybe if you decide you want to get max value for it, I might be able to help you. Now, I'm not saying you can't sell it to him. Obviously, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. You don't want to put that karma out into the world. I promise you. You do not want to put that karma out into the world where you're stealing items from other people. Okay, but I told her, I'm like, in the event, Okay, she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, that's fine, not a problem at all. I'm like, I'm going to go talk with him though. She's like, what? I'm like, I'm going to talk with him because I really want to buy this item. And I walk over to him and I walk 4 houses down. I start talking to him. I say, hey, I'm really interested in that step tracker that you're looking at. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'd really like to buy it. And I'm willing to compensate you if you let me buy it off you. He's like, seriously? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, I'll give you $20. He's like, what? I'm like, I will give you $20 if you let me buy it. He's like, seriously? He's like, let me see. Show me the money. I'm like, not a problem. Reach into my wallet. I'm like, here's $20. There you go. I'm like, I'm like, I need you to walk down there with me right now and tell her that you're okay selling it to me. Okay? That there's no qualms or anything. He's like, okay. And he walked down there. He's like, okay, I'll get it paid for. I'm like, no. I'm like, the $20 is yours. I'll pay for it myself. No worries. And we walk down there. I see the lady. I'm like, hey, he said it's all right if I buy it. And she's like, really? And he's like, yeah. He's just going to get a normal pedometer, whatever. And I hand her $5. Here we go. $200 worth of inventory. It cost me $25, but I got it. So sometimes these things happen. I kind of wish he wasn't such a snake though. You know, kind of visiting both yard sales. Obviously he has fair right to do so. But I decided that wasn't good enough. I wanted a little bit more. So I go back to his house again. He's like, let's work some deals. Let's cut some deals. I said, sure. Now, you guys saw me post this piece up earlier. I posted it up in the group. And there was some really nasty staining here on the edge. This bright green nasty stain. I posted not only a before and after, but a video on spray and wash, which is going to be on Jay's 2020 best things list this year. Christmas special. Hold me to it. Okay? But I cleaned this bad boy up, and this is a large Adidas Artest jersey, length +2, which I did not know was a thing, or extra large. Apparently you can get extra long jerseys. New news to me. This has a list price of $119.99, and I bought this off of him for $7 is what this came out to. $7. So I think I'm a little bit less salty about that extra $20 that I gave him because I came back around and I was able to get this on the second pass. And you know what? Shame on me because I didn't see it the first time around, but it all worked out in the end. Everything for a reason. Right, babe? She says yes. She's listening from the stairs right now. But what else do we got? Oh, we got an item that she actually made the right pull on. This is one that I did not see. And even if I didn't see, I don't think I would have given any damn consideration to whatsoever. This is a first Starbucks store, Pike Place Market, Seattle, Washington cup. Now, I have seen the actual state cups, the You Are Here cups, the big ones, the nice ones, and one of those from Pike's Place will sell for about $65 to $75, at least last time I sold one. They're very popular. These ones don't turn up as often. I looked online, comps, it's about $25 to $30 for this cup, and we were able to pick it up for $1. So we're very pleased about this one as well. More money in the system for both of us. A few more plushies. This Charizard, I can't remember what it was worth. I think it's like 30 or 40 bucks. I listed so much plush this week. This guy's going to Mercari. He's only a tenner, but money is money. Before I open this entire box, can anyone tell me if I showed this last week or not? This is a Jim Shore piece. Money from Mars says, Ron Artest, The Malice at the Palace. That was wild. I'm going to have to look that up. Maybe send me a link or something, because I don't know anything about sports cabal at all. I'm trying really hard not to break stuff behind me. Pick this up as well. This is a Bulldog brand range bag. And I didn't think much about it until I cracked it open and I saw spots for holding ammo magazines inside of it. I thought, okay, maybe there'll be a few bucks here. One of these brand new sells for $50. One of these used, I'm going to be asking $40. And I think I paid $3 or $4. I can't remember it all, but a nice piece. Doesn't weigh too much either. If you're interested in this personally, let me know. Okay, cut you a deal on it. I think we showed that. I also got a ridiculous amount of maps. we've talked about this just a handful of times before, but it's been a long time since I've seen them. When I was at that book sale, the lady had a bunch of these, a bunch of maps, and she had a whole bin of them. Like, hey, how much are the maps? And she said $0.25 each, and they were raising money for their school. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stab a little bit harder than I normally would. I said, hey, can I go ahead and give you $20 for the bin? Okay, and realistically, there was probably, 80 maps at that price. It would have worked out fine, but I didn't negotiate. I didn't try and lowball it. I wanted to come in heavy and look like I was giving a generous amount of money, so that way when it came time to negotiate on the books later, I would possibly have earned a little bit more favor. And these people were multi-bookstore owners who were simply liquidating stuff that a professor or two had left behind. So the books were of the finest quality. We're talking, as new or very fine Tolkien first edition hardcovers, most of which appear to have never even been read. They're some of the finest examples ever, and I got them for $1 each. It's because I took the time to plant a good seed on these maps. Now, normally with maps, there's not going to be much money, but I did get some great ones. We got some vintage Chevron, Mobile, 76, Shell, from all around the world, including some exotic destinations like Hawaii, and you don't see many gas Hawaii maps showing up. A lot like this of, I want to say 30 or so maps should sell for at least $50. And I have an auction going on it already, but I ended up getting 3 different lots worth of maps. We have the gas station maps. We have just standard vintage, old school non-gas station maps of a similar quantity. And then I also have a stack of tourist pamphlets, vintage tourist pamphlets, 70s, 80s, early 90s, really nice stuff. So I'm thinking the standard maps should probably fetch $30, $40. The vintage touring stuff, probably $30, $40. And then this one, we're just going to say $50 to $100. But I haven't listed maps in probably half a decade, so I'm not positive exactly where the market's at. Audrey, we were just talking about it earlier. You missed out. I actually spent a solid 30 minutes creating a custom ad and talking about how you can place and run ads. So go ahead and scrub back, rewind a little bit, and you'll be able to see the full thing. I even called you out by name. I said, I don't know where she's at, but I know she wanted me to talk about it. So scroll back and you'll be able to watch that. And thank you so much, Vasquez Vintage. I'm happy to be back. I've been on every other week, so if you haven't seen my videos, just make sure you're subscribed. Here, I can even do that little pretty animation thing. Yeah, make sure you subscribe and ring the little bell if you want to make sure you get notified. If you click the bell next to the subscribe button, wherever you're at on YouTube, you'll get a notification. And you might even get one on your phone telling you, hey, Jay from Bolarama, he's going live right now. Hop on over. So that's the best way to stay plugged in. And then also just follow the notifications in the group. I would like to get to a semi more regular type programming, but I like living my life and I don't get paid a lot doing this, so it's kind of tricky. Now, I was talking earlier about making sure that you plant those positive seeds and you don't try and screw people. Okay, because it's important. It's important not to. We talk about not only doing ethics, but if you plant those bad seeds, you're going to really hurt yourself. So this clock back here is a prime example of reaping what you sow, because it wasn't even the next day, I think it was, I found this clock while I was going through that house. The same house that had the 4-H, the same house that had all that clothing, the really great stuff. I find this clock on the wall, and this clock had a price tag on it for $3. I'll bring it in for you a little closer. Now, this pennant clock is very delicate. Okay, as you can see, it's a fine plastic. Has the clock assembly here on the back with a little bit of support so that way it can lay off the wall a little bit. It was marked at $3, and I had started building a goodie pile up by the front door with all the different things that I was going to buy. And I had this bad boy hanging right out the top of it, and I was kind of worried about it. I tried to push it further back, but for some reason or another, my box got pushed forward while I was gone. And I walk out there, and there's this elderly lady who's handling the money, and she says, "You're really lucky that I'm here right now." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" She's like, "Someone tried to buy that clock that you have in there, and I went and sell it to him." I'm like, "That is so sweet of you. Thank you." And she's like, "They even offered me $25 for the clock, and I still didn't sell it to him." I'm like, "Bless your soul." I'm like, "Thank you so much for doing that." And she's like, "Well, it's the right thing to do." And I'm like, "Thank you." And I'll tell you, I guarantee you that if I screwed that person the day before, the clock would be gone. It probably wouldn't even be on the damn wall. It'd probably be a missed opportunity altogether. But, so I'm saying, Plant good seeds, people. I cannot find an example of this clock. I believe it's 1987. Yeah, 1987 MLB official merchandise through the P&K Products Company. The clock itself still works. The graphics are beautiful. There's some light yellowing and discoloration on the plastic, which is going to happen. It was on a wall that was forward facing with some light sun exposure, so this probably just happened over the last 2 decades. I think I have this listed at either an auction starting at 100 or a buy it now for 100. I don't think that you could go out today and find another one of these if you wanted. I couldn't even find any images online. Again, sometimes when we get these items, we're the only people putting images online. And the reason I put it on the wall is because I'm genuinely horrified about snapping the tip on this thing. So for that reason, I'm going to pass this off. Here you go, baby. Want to take that?
You chose the exact one to walk away.
Yeah, no, that's it. Just don't break it. There we go. So, plant them good seeds, people. I'm going to show you this figure right here. Actually, no, yeah, I'll pull it out and show it to you. This is a Jim Shore piece, which is from the Enesco line. A lot of us know Enesco, especially because of the vintage Barbie stuff. There's a lot of Barbie figures, Barbie shoes, and stuff like that made by Enesco. And Enesco is still manufacturing stuff today. And talk about seasonality and the perfect time to get something like this. This was originally listed for $30 at the store, but it had a half-price sale going on, so I paid $15 for this piece. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm usually not a fan of Enesco stuff, but the styling on this thing it's a really nice. It would be a great centerpiece, decor piece for Thanksgiving. And frankly, even Halloween. This piece right here consistently sells at the $100 price point. And it has its original box. It's going to be nice and easy to ship that way as well. You got a big old chunky cat. Nice. So when you see those figures, I know, it's very easy to want to write them off. And I do the same thing when I see like porcelain dolls, but take a look at them. There was maybe 6 different ones there, and if nothing else, start with the most exotic looking ones. Start with the largest looking ones, the ones that you don't think people would normally buy, or the ones that have nice visual appeal, and price check those ones first. And if you get a couple of duds and you don't feel like checking the rest, don't check the rest. Oh yeah, that clock too. This exit sign came from that same sale. They originally had a $50 price tag on it, which was marked down to $30, which I went in and then I asked if I could pay them $20. The goal was that I would get a really vintage sign because it's heavy. It's 9.5 pounds. But after closer examination, it's a little bit more modern. It has standard electronic housings on the inside. It's a very heavy casing. I think the front was custom cut, but it's kind of hard to say. And it uses machine screws on the front instead of like some type of more vintage fastener to keep the assembly together. Like I said, I have it listed for $200. I'd be happy to take $100. If somebody came to my house today, I'd probably sell it for, I don't know, $70 and just get it out the door. But if not, it's beautiful. And I can run it 24 hours a day because I have LED bulbs hooked up on the inside. I did have to rewire it. It wasn't horrible though, but I did have to do a little bit of rewiring, and now it's 100% good to go. And it has an exceptionally long cord too, which is nice. I shouldn't have worn those masks. I done screwed up my hair. What else do we got? I wish I had batteries up here so you could hear how heinous the music is that comes out of this thing when the alarm goes off. Like it is like enough to make you want to throw up. It is that bad. And if you want, somebody remind me and I'll post a clip to the page. But this is an off-brand Solina knockoff Pikachu clock. It might be a first or third party thing, but these sell for $40 to $50. Again, I don't know why. I don't know who's paying that much for these, but somebody is paying that for this item in poor condition. So I'm hoping to get max value at $50 on this piece. Again, came from that same house. This is an exceptionally neat piece. I watched other people again walk right past this one. This is a Casper the Ghost, a little candelabra decor piece. We go in a children's room and it lights up. It's beautiful too when it lights up. Let me see if I can find a power strip. You know what? I'm not even going to do it. These flicker. I can show you an image of what it looks like. I can do that much at least. because I do have it active right now. I tried to take some gorgeous pictures. I can't stress enough, guys. Beautiful pictures sell items. Has a little crack on its arm. That's what it looks like lit. Tell me that ain't a great image. So I picked that up at a yard sale. I paid $3 for it. Asking price currently is $50. I could get a little bit more, but, you know, kind of got to get it while the iron's hot. Halloween is this month. I feel that's going to be my best chance to get it sold. So I'd like it to go out the door this month. Picked up this Davy Jones's Locker Pirates of the Caribbean themed CD player. Yes, the heart does light up while it's playing a CD. It also has these storage compartments. I don't understand why. Sells for $50 or $60, give or take. I think I paid $4 for it. Happy to have it. Here's the other plushie that I was telling you about. This is about $40 or $50 as well. This is from that same Fruits Basket anime. And then we had another shirt. I guess this one slipped through the cracks. This is one of the better shirts that I picked up. This is actually from the Flower and Garden show. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot International 2019. So this was a very rich family. They had a lot of money doing flowers for fun at Disneyland. But yeah, this is about a $40 or $50 shirt. You got to find the right buyer for it, obviously, but this sold for maybe $30 or $35 at the park. It's going to be a difficult one to get. It's going to have a lot of appeal. It's Minnie, it's pink, it's flowers, Flower and Garden, Home and Garden, yada, yada, yada. So I do expect this one to sell too. And the last one I'm going to show for today, I think that's the last one of everything I got. And keep in mind, I photographed, color graded, and listed all of these items, plus an additional 40 books that you did not see tonight, which are already in the garage and listed. It's been a busy week, but this was one of the last ones. This is a sample piece from the company Ban Presto. Unfortunately, when I ran it through the washing machine to clean it, I lost all of the information on the tag. It was a real dumb move on my part. I probably could have hand cleaned it just as well, but I learned something new about some of these older fabric tags. It was a valuable lesson to have, and it does say sample across the top, and you don't see sample plush, especially by the Ban Presto company, often. I'm asking $30 on this. Just because I don't see a collector paying more than that for something that's a little bit of a one-off. I think they would rather have the actual non-sample version of this. There's just not a big collector's pool for prototype pieces that aren't like specifically Mario or Yoshi or something to that effect. This is kind of a side thing. So if I got 30, I'd be pleased with that. But cool piece. Guys, that's my pickups for the week. There was probably a little bit more, but yeah, that's quite a bit of stuff. I'm trying to remember what else we actually kept this week, but there was a handful of great items that I was able to keep, so I'm very pleased about that. This will be last chance if you guys have any questions. If not, I'm going to go enjoy some ribs. And you guys want a little tip? I'm going to tell you a secret right now. Okay, this is a good one. I tell you this all the time, okay? Who out there likes ribs? Okay, this is going on my list. Jay's 2020 favorite things. I need to start writing these down because I got a lot of them. 2020, one of my favorite things is the PPO rib special at Tahoe Joe's. And you have to ask for it. You have to say, I want the PPO special. And you think I'm kidding. I'm not. They give you half a rack of ribs, which is more like 3/4 of a rack. They give you half a rack of ribs. They give you loaded mashed potatoes with gravy. They give you green beans with bacon. You can ask for extra. You get like 5 dinner rolls if you want. And if you go on a Friday, you get a thing of clam chowder. Now, if you go a different day, you're going to get a different day's soup. But I mean, if you're going to be paying for it, you might as well get that big old thing of clam chowder. Okay, you get the whole thing. Okay, you're not going to believe this. It's like $11.40. $11.40. It's ridiculous. Okay, but you have to ask for the PPO special. It's not on the menu. That's my tip for you right there. Mike T, don't forget, tomorrow is a federal holiday. USPS will not be open. Mike, I would have gone downstairs and done pack and ship tonight, believe it or not. Okay? So thank you so much for that. Hey, baby, there's no mail tomorrow. So we got to make sure because I know I'm going to forget. I will forget. Sounds like that just made my 2020 list as well. I'm telling you, PPO special, or the PPO ribs special, or rib plate. Okay, I got one waiting for me downstairs. Okay, and I'll get two at a time. Because if you're going down there, it's two of them for $23.40 or something. It's so cheap. Okay, and you can spread that. You make like 4 meals out of that. So what I do, I got one of those 8x8 baking trays, one of the aluminum foil, the real thin ones. They put everything on a foil sheet for you. I lift the whole thing out, plunk it right in there, put it inside my toaster oven and bake. You put it at 375 degrees, put it at 15 minutes. You're going to reheat your whole thing like it's a brand new fucking plate and go upstairs and enjoy some food. That's how my night's going to be ending tonight. It's going to be lovely. I'm going to go eat some ribs. Last chance if anyone has any questions. I don't know if I have anything that I really want to talk about. I mean, this week's been a great week just for the simple fact that the census is coming to a close. It's been a fantastic journey. I made enough money to pay for my entire car and then some, which was shocking to me. Yeah. And I think I might be considering getting a government job. And I know that's so counterintuitive to everything that we talk about here on the channel of self-employment and this, that, and the other. But I'm 35 and benefits are not cheap. And I wouldn't mind picking up like 20 hours a week doing something for the government and getting free benefits for me and the girlfriend. Because that's worth like, I don't know, a couple grand a month. And I think I can put in 20 hours or 30 hours someplace else just to pick up those, the amount of savings that I would get off benefits, because it's a lot of work to do that. So I'm considering that, but I'm considering a lot of things. I told the girlfriend that after the census is over, that I wanted to spend some serious time brainstorming what the next chapter of my life was going to be. And it's very interesting because I've always done okay, where I've had enough money to pay for the things that need to be paid for. And this is really over the last 5 to 10 years. I've had enough money to pay for the things that need to get paid for. I've had a little bit extra to, splurge here and there, buy a PPO rib special. Okay. I've done okay. And those of you who don't know, I don't have family support. I have no generational wealth. I ran away from home at 17 and I never went back, never asked for a cent ever. Okay, I've done all on my own since then. And those of you who come from a position where you don't have generational wealth, and I'm not knocking on those who do, you understand how long that journey can be to where you can say, you know what? I'm feeling kind of comfy. Like things are kind of working. I'm feeling good about what's going on. I invested $7,200 into a Pokemon buy. Those of you who have money and you want to know where to camp it, send me a message. There's a huge set coming out and I can get wholesale prices for you. They're selling on eBay for $92. I can still get them to you for $82. And I know that doesn't seem like a big deal. It really is, especially when you're buying 50 to 100 units. But back on topic. This is the first time that I felt really comfy to where I can afford to make some mistakes and I can afford to take a month or 2 or 3, take a real sabbatical and say, okay, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Like what is going to be the most fun and profitable and exciting thing? Me and the missus we're talking about maybe getting a 5th wheel and traveling America and being resellers and YouTubers along the way. It might happen. It really might, because at the end of next year, I'll have enough money to buy a nice, big, chunky pickup truck, and I only want it because it'll haul, and a brand new 5th wheel. If I want to get a $60,000 5th wheel and a $50,000 truck, I'll have it at the end of next year. So we're considering that option as well. I told her I want to take some serious time off, and my real time off will start in December. I want to take some real time off, and I want to figure out, because I love doing this, but I'm not giving 100%. And that's not because I'm incapable. it's just, I don't know if this is where my passion lies to give 100% doing this. But I do want to find my passion, and then I want to go really, really hard with it. And I was talking with somebody else about it earlier. My problem is that I'm really good at a lot of things, and most of those things I don't enjoy doing. But I'll do them for the money, and I have to stop doing those things just for the money. Like the census, it was a great experience, but after I stopped doing the teaching, I did not enjoy the rest of it. I did not enjoy managing a team and supervising people and dealing with their calls and payroll and calling in on alerts. It was not fun to me. But running classes and conducting classes and seminars and programs, oh, that was a blast. So maybe slowing down a little bit, figuring out what I want to do. Yeah. But it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. And I won't ever leave the internet for good. I don't see that happening. But we're going to figure it out. So if you're in a spot where you are ready to camp some money, I am going to be doing a special video as well. It's going to be another live stream. Maybe we'll do it in 2 weeks. I am going to share with everyone my methodology for how I go from one position or one job to another as an entrepreneur, and what I think would be next that'd be good for me. Because I know some of you out there are in a spot where you're like, well, I'm making money every month and the lights are on and the rent's paid and I enjoy what I do, but sometimes it's about going from, making $4,000 or $5,000 a month and working 30 to 50 hours a week to making maybe $7,000 or $8,000 a month and working 20 hours a week, and trying to find practical and reasonable ways to make both jumps in income and jumps in time freedom. And I don't want to sound too MLM-y. I don't want to sound too much like, oh, what's that guy's name? The reseller guy. He starts his videos by holding his phone. Oh God, what is it? It's not money. It's that Asian guy, Christopher Lin. Yeah, in his channel, he's always reading his notes off his phone. He sounds so like he has a course to sell you. Okay, my course is going to be free. It's going to be a free mentor session that we're going to have over the internet. It'll be a fun time, but I don't know. Maybe it'll offer me some clarity if I do it in real time with all of you. I'm just waiting on a full-size whiteboard to get here, something on wheels, but we'll figure that out when it happens. Again, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I've had a good time with you tonight. Hopefully you learned something new by seeing all the items that I have for sale. If you want to go take a peek at them, I will put a link in the description to be able to, oh, actually that's the old link. Hold on, stores.ebay.com/Bolorama. And if you don't know how to give out your URL, this is how you do it right here, stores.ebay.com/your username. And that's how you can share your store with other people. Feel free to go check out all those cool items. If you'd like to buy something too, let me know. If you want an exclusive deal, by all means, I'm all ears. And seriously, if you have money to invest, and it's just sitting in a bank account, and you want to see 20% gains by Christmas, reach out to me. I plan to make an extra, I don't know, maybe $3 or $4 grand this holiday year or holiday season. So it'll be a good time. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Remember, if you don't make that money, someone else will. Have a great night. Oh, wrong one. Hold on.